Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our fourth game of my Road to Expert series for game analysis. This is also round 4, coincidentally enough, in our Hot Weather Swiss tournament at my local club. The time controls our game in 100 with a delay of 5 seconds. We don't play with increment, so that makes the games quite final, right? Which is nice. And I'm playing Shravan Sabarish, who's 1078 in the open section. He's a young up-and-coming player. I've played him 3 other times, but I was white every time, so we actually get black this time. All right, let's take a look. I have no idea what he plays as black or white, and he plays a London. So I go through our normal sequence. I played bishop e7. Now, I did consider playing this, and I did also consider playing this. I figured let's just opt for the normal classical lines because I'm not sure what he does with his c-pawn. And of course, he plays the normal c4. What you should play, it's the most testing move. Castles, knight c3, and d6. I'm in my classical lines. Bishop d3, queen to e8. I want to go for this type of move. Castles, knight to h5. I want to go after his bishop. Bishop g3. Knight c6. Bishop h4. And now we get to trade dark squared bishops. And I played knight to b4 going after his other bishop. I want to be having at least one. He finds that. Move. Knight to f6. b3. And here I had to think about what the best way to proceed was. I thought about playing a5, which I thought might be pretty decent. And we get a kind of a scenario like that. The engine likes c5 best. And then you get this rook. And then a3. And we get a line like this. And this is very computery stuff. It's a lot of maneuvering. You're not really progressing or moving forward. I played knight to a6 with the idea of pushing c5. And instead I played c6. Why I didn't just play c5, I'm not quite sure. I think maybe I was scared of this, but it doesn't really matter. I'm protected. He can go here, but I always have this or this. So everything's fine. It's not a big deal. And he played c6, and he played d5, which was a mistake. He should have played c5, trying to lock down the position. Then we get a stonewall type of setup. That would have probably been a better option. d5, knight c5, queen to d1. I take his pawn, he takes mine. C takes d, c takes d, and I play e5. And I get this nice strong center, which is really good. And at this point in the game, I've kind of taken stock. I thought, well, I've got a pretty decent position, and I've gotten everything I kind of wanted out of the opening. I would have liked to have been a little bit more aggressive and attacking, but he didn't. The London doesn't really allow for that too much, so you have to play a little bit more defense. But that's okay. So knight b5, queen to d8, coming back and protecting my pawn and stopping any types of knights coming in here. b4, knight a6, protecting the square even more. So, whoops, we've got this and this. He wants to come in here. And I lashed out with g5, which is a mistake. It says it's an inaccuracy. It's probably a mistake. I should just kind of hang on to my knights here and kind of play a little bit more passive. Maybe I should try to trade this guy off and then go after this pawn. We get, yeah, but I didn't play that. g5, knight f3, and g4. I like the idea of getting really close to his king, but it's not, evaluation-wise, it's not amazing. So he played g3, knight a c7. Now I feel as though I'm unwinding a little bit. Queen to c2. Knight takes, bishop takes, and I challenge his bishop. What are you going to do with that guy? I thought, well, he's going to triple up here, and that's fine. I thought queen to f6. I have a lot of inaccuracies in this game. It's not the most well-played game that I've had. I probably should have just played a bishop takes a, yeah. Sorry, knight to g7 was probably best, yeah. And then a4. Queen f6 instead, and he played e4. I played f4. Let's kind of blast open his king. And here he made a mistake, a big blunder. I thought he should just leave it. Don't do anything about it. Play b4 or b5 and kind of challenge my queenside and get some more queenside play and go from there. I think would have been the best way to go. G takes f4. And that was the other thing. He kind of just blundered a piece. I think he thought that this might be stronger. And when I talked to him after the game, he thought that this might be much easier to contend with than giving up the knight. He did realize that this was not such a good move after a little while. And once I get this knight in, it's really hard for him to kind of keep going. So queen to f6. It's coming after this pawn. Bishop c4. Knight to d7. Rook C to e1. And I get this pin, which is really nice. Rook a to c8. Queen to e3. Giving up another piece. Rook takes c4. f3. G takes f3. Rook takes f3. Queen takes f3. And this was a very good move. It was a very good try for him. Very good try. But king h8, queen takes e5 is a mistake. And I don't think he saw what was coming after this, because the game ends pretty quick. Rook to f6, stopping the check, and he's got no more checks. Queen to a1, rook to c2, rook to e2 is another blunder. He should have played queen takes f6. Would have only delayed things because he's down 2 pieces, but takes. Queen to e5. Sorry, e5. And can you spot the checkmate? Should be pretty easy to see. Queen to g2. So it is really nice to see that he is a player that will play to checkmate. A lot of young kids will just give up if they are down 2 pieces or something. So, or if they drop their queen, when they should just keep playing, just keep fighting, always keep fighting. Just as long as you are not checkmated, keep playing until there is no more to play. That's my advice to you. Closing thoughts. Please just keep always playing. Don't resign. Don't resign. If you're 2000 and you can tell that you're lost, yeah, go ahead and resign. But if you're playing class tournaments and you're on the rise and you're below expert, play until checkmate. Always. Make them checkmate you. Because what you'll find is a lot of times they can't checkmate you and you can maybe get a stalemate, which is really great. So Shravan played a great game. I was happy to play this one with him. I was happy to finally get a black side against him, and I finished 2-2 out of my first 4 games. I played rather poorly in most of these games. I didn't play very well in this game either, but I could have played much better. So I have a lot of things going on with my mindset that I need to correct, and I have not yet identified that my mindset is the problem. So I will catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you all have a great day.